is one dart away. Double 10.
Game shot and the match.
And he kickstarts his campaign off absolutely perfectly today. Simon Adams, a 4-1 victory over Kevin Dowling, whose hopes are becoming very slim now for a Saturday night place. But Simon Adams, well and truly in the mix.
The standard has dramatically risen on day 2 in comparison to day 1.
I think everybody here thought that although Ryan went through the card, he didn't really get out of second gear. And that is very much a compliment.
Game shot on the
What
first
a start.
leg.
12 darter, hold of throw. Had a max put into him, responded with one of his own and a ton plus finish.
Triple 18 for the ball. Bullseye for 2-0 and the breaker throw.
Game shot on the
Right
second leg.
in the middle
Ryan
of the diddle, and Finesse leads 2-0.
Ryan, you
Third
require
leg, he's been
57.
pretty much word perfect on the outer ring. 2 darts at top, so Ryan Finesse
Game
for
shot
victory
and the match.
number
Ryan
6, and he
Finesse.
really is the dominant force at the top of the group. He gets the better of Stu Wilson by 4 legs to 1, an average of 93.5. Just try and get the result by hook or by crook. 54 leaves tops.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Clean
Marco
and
Cantell.
clinical for Marco Cantell.
Game shot.
Squeezes
and the
it
match.
into the bottom
Marco
corner
Cantell.
and keeps his hopes alive of getting through to Saturday night. He joins Simon Adams now in that joint qualifying position.
66 out when under pressure. Well, that leaves 50. Tops again. Tops he
Game shot on the
gets.
fourth leg. Kev Dowling.
Yeah, he is an analyzer, isn't he? 3 in hand at tops.
Game shot and
Gets
the
the
match.
double 10.
Stu Wilson.
Takes the spoils, and Stewie Wilson rights the wrongs from match number 1 today. And picks up his first win of the day and his second win of his Group C campaign. Averages 78, 91, 73, 29. Coming up next.
Double 10.
First leg.
Clean and
Game shot on
clinical. A
the first
14
leg. Simon
darter
Adams.
for Simon Adams to move himself 1-0 in front. Big test to see where Simon Adams' head is at. Well, straight at it for tops. This could be for back-to-back 14 darters to start
Game
this
shot on
match.
the
It is
second
back-to-back
leg. Simon
14
Adams.
darters for Simon Adams.
3 darts at double 8. Double 4.
Game shot
And
the
he
match.
completes the
Simon
job.
Adams.
Simon Adams gets the better of Marco Cantell. 4 legs to 2. Averages 83, 77, 79, 73 for Marco.
Tops or treble 20, double 10? Tops. Tops
shot
to
and the
put a
match.
flake in
Tony
it
Wood.
and to become the first player to better Ryan Finesse in this group. A bit of finesse to beat Finesse. Woods a 4-2 victor.
Steve West, it'd be tops. That's perfect, 'cause that's right out of the way.
Game shot on the third
Ends the
leg.
double.
Marco Cantell.
That is a guide. Was more of a range finder than a marker. Somehow,
And the match.
Marco Cantell
Cantell.
just about falls over the line after facing a match dart from Wilson, who trailed 3 legs to 0. 83-43 the average for Marco.
108 for Tuna. He's had 2 ton toppers already today, Finesse. 103 and 123. Is he going to add the 108 to the mix on double 14? Yes, there's your answer. 2-0 Finesse. And so Finesse now gets his chance to go through. But he's gone the other side. He's busted into the double 10.
8.
And Dowling gets another life. And
Game
Finesse
shot,
is going to be made to wait as he
Dowling.
spurns opportunities to qualify. Kevin Dowling inflicts the Wiltshire man into back-to-back defeats to keep him hanging on and awaiting his fate as Dowling takes on Cantell next. There's 2 darts in his hand, a double 16
Shot, and the
for a
match,
big win for Tony Woods and an even bigger defeat for Simon Adams. He may be smiling on the outside, but on the inside he knows he's missed a big opportunity. It opens up the door now.
On a plate, he's been defeated.
Game shot on the first leg.
Well, he didn't need to go for it. He went for it anyway, and he hits it. A fantastic way to start this match. A 12-darter there for Cantell to break the throw.
Second
A
leg, it's
180
Marco
and a
to throw
127.
And game.
Game on.
Well, 20 leaves the ball. Unlikely looking lead, but he has the lead.
Third leg, Kev Dowling.
Beautiful 130 out from Kevin Dowling.
Double 8.
Game shot and the match.
A double
Kev
127 in game. One for Marco, one for Kev Dowling, who takes out 2 big finishes there.
14 and bull. So the bullseye for Tony Woods for 2-0.
Game shot on
And
the
it is
second leg.
found,
Tony
and it is
Woods.
back-to-back 18 dart legs for Tony Woods. Be the first bagel served of the day at tea time.
Game shot
And
the
it
match.
is found, and
Tony
Tony Woods
Woods.
seals a 4-0 victory against Stu Wilson. And so Woods' goose may not well have been cooked so far.
All
All of a sudden, Simon
Ryan,
Adams
you
puts
require
himself back in the leg,
74.
finding his 6th maximum of this group.
Game shot on the first leg. Ryan
It's a
Finesse.
Double-double. I don't think it was an intended one, but
He's got 2 darts in his hand, a double 16.
Game
And
shot
Simon
the match.
Adams is
Simon Adams.
so almost into tomorrow night's final. He's eliminated Marco Cantell, and he needs a perfect swing against him, against Tony Wood, to dispel him from the competition.
of Kevin Dowling. Simon Adams will be watching the screen. He'll be smiling, of course.
If it don't go in, which it does,
Shot on the second
and
leg.
that does
Kev
confirm,
Dowling.
joining Ben Robb will be Ryan Finesse and Simon Adams.
Third leg. Game shot and the match. Kev Dowling.
Kevin Dowling does finish off with a win, in a disappointing campaign for Tony Wood comes to an end, and his qualification has been denied by, well, just the one leg needed for Kevin Dowling as it was.
Double 8. And 4s. And this would mean that Ryan Finesse would have lost 4 of his 5 games today, having
Shot
completed
and
the
the
card
match.
on day
Marco
1.
Cantell.
Marco Cantell steals a 4-1 success against Ryan Finesse. And now he is dumped off a top spot for now. Simon Adams at the pinnacle of the table.
Like you said, will also leave him a little frustrated.
Game shot and the match. Stu
Stu
Wilson.
Wilson gets it done, and a very impressive performance. He will no doubt go away with a bit of a shake of the head. 4 out of 6 on the doubles in the end for Stu Wilson, including that beautiful 139. Every metric of that performance is superior to pretty much anything else we have seen from him an end average 93.91, 4 140s, 1 180. All round a good performance. A disappointing campaign, has to be said, finishing at the foot of the table on just 6 points. Kevin Dowling ended up on 8, Tony Wood on 10, Marco on 12, but in position 1 is Ryan Furness, and in position 2, qualifying for finals night tomorrow night, is Simon Adams, and he has joined Henry up on stage.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. Simon Adams, many congratulations on your debut at the Super Series. You are into Saturday night. Just sum up how you feel right now.
One word?
As many words as you want.
I think I represent more than myself here. I represent everybody at home. I always say we get our hands dirty. It's guys like Etienne Pope that owns a photography company up there that make it happen for us. The Wackett. He knows who I'm talking about. When you get interviewed, you forget the name. Percy Aramse. Those are the guys that really holds up your hands, you know, and we did it for them. You know, I play for more than myself when I'm here. And it's just a wonderful privilege for me to be in that finals tomorrow.
As you say, you're playing for more than just yourself. So when there was times this week where there was adversity, there was games that weren't quite going your way, was that something, that a type of inspiration that you were able to draw upon?
Look, they say it's you're insane if you want to do one thing over and over. So I try adjust. I try and do things differently, hold a grip differently, you know, in the game. So if I do one thing over and over and I don't get the result, I'm going to go crazy, man. It's crazy enough if I'm crazy about the sport. But yeah, it's how you act, how you respond to that adversity in the game that sets you apart from whether you're in the finals or not.
You talk about darts back home. What's been the response this week to you playing at the MODUS Super Series?
I keep on telling the guys in the players' room, you know what? People are taking off their shirts and jumping in the river. You know, it's just how happy people are. Most of the people are, because you know there are better dart players than me in South Africa. They're just prevented from taking part in these opportunities. But I want to encourage everybody at home that if I can do it after 44 years, you know, and still do what I'm doing, it is possible for anybody. But our youngsters doesn't have to wait 44 years. We must go back and instill this behavior, this standard right now.
What does that feel like for you then, to be a torchbearer, to be an inspiration, somebody that maybe younger players in South Africa can look up to, can aspire to be?
I sat in the players' room with Kevin Dowling and I said, Simon, it's good to be in the company of a pioneer. They erect statues for pioneers, not for critics, boy. Go and do your thing, you know. So yes, it's a beacon of hope. It's opportunity created by Devon that's up here, that achieved, and now is plowing back. And I'm one of those players that are reaping the benefits from that, and I'm grateful. That's what it is.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about tomorrow night, because this is a huge opportunity for yourself. You're into the finals. You've got a 1 in 6 chance of now winning a MODUS Super Series week. How much, you've loved every single bit of this week, how much would you love to cap it off by lifting the trophy tomorrow night?
Of course, I always play to win. But you know, for being the first time, every time I walk into this stage, I grow. Everything is just getting better. Everything is not necessarily better, but making use of the opportunity expands the experience that you gain, that you can go plow back and share with others. That's what it really means to me. Yeah.
Well, these are the groups. This is the group breakdown. This is the tournament bracket. So you're going to be joined by Ryan Furness and you're going to be joined by Ben Robb. And we can tell you that your first game tomorrow night is going to be against Ben, who you've played in Group A this week. How much are you looking forward to that on the stage?
I'm not looking forward to that. No, I am. It's always, you know, it's the first time that I met Ben. I actually fell in love with Ben Yamin. While he was playing, and I was watching him and his friends with Stefan Vermaak. And when I met him, he's a very, very nice, good, approachable guy. It's going to be a tough one because Ben is a high-quality player. It means it's always good to come in as an underdog. And yeah, I will give it my best shot.
I'll talk to you just a little bit more in just a second, but before we do that, we're just going to have a look at the results from today's session. These are the 15 games that have been and gone. So just confirmation there of everything that we've seen this afternoon at the Super Series and what has been a topsy-turvy session here at the live lounge. And this is how it correlates in the table. And I think you might like the look of this, Simon. There we go. Second place in the gold, in the qualification spots. And I just want to ask you about what this stage experience has been like for you, because you're going to be playing at the Alexandra Palace next week. You're going to be taking on Ricky Evans at the World Championships. How much has playing on this stage, playing in front of the cameras, the lights, the pressure, how much do you think that's going to help you going into that match next week?
I think if I look back at all the other players that preceded me to this event, I actually had the best experience. I have the best preparation for that big event, and it just sets me up perfectly if I get there, that I will be acquainted with what is expected of me and what I can expect when I get there. Mm-hmm. It was a good experience for me.
Well, Simon, thank you very much for chatting to us now. And the good news is we're going to be chatting a little bit more with Simon, because you spoke to us earlier on this week, and the interview is going to be available on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel following today's session. So if you want to hear more from Simon, and why would you not want to hear more from Simon Adams, then you can do so there. We're going to be back from 10 o'clock this evening to conclude the proceedings in Group B. Mike Warburton leads the way following a perfect night on day one. But this afternoon, well, Simon Adams has made history. He's the first ever South African through to a Saturday night here at the Super Series.